good people. But let's talk music. Abby Neal was a native of Brookville, Pennsylvania, and lived in various places throughout the country, appearing on regional barn dances and local TV programs in the 40s and 50s as part of the Golden West Girls. After putting in a lot of time of working for other people, she eventually was able to form her own group, and thank heavens that this rare and precious TV footage was preserved. So let's take a look now at Abby Neal and the Ranch Girls as they perform some really swinging Western and folk tunes. Take it away, ladies.
Riding down to Santa Fe, just beyond the mountains and across the way. See that sun sinking low in the west, o'er the land I'm loving the best.
Hi friends, I'm Abby Neal, and the Ranch Girls are all here with me again today to sing and play some of your favorite folk music and Western songs.
She's a Texas tornado and she hails from Laredo, but she never could be true. She's as cute as a daisy and she drives the guys all crazy and they don't know what to do. All the boys hang around her like a honeybee. She snaps her fingers and they drop right to their knees. And though they'd like to persuade her, she's a Texas tornado and wants to be alone until the right guy comes along. There was no woman who made a home in a great big broken down shoe. She had so doggone many kids, she didn't know what to do. So come on, baby, go to sleep and shut your eyes and move. Rock by boogie, rock by boogie, rock by 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 rock by boogie, rock by.
Okay, let's take a look at the Quavy Sisters. Okay, the Quavy Sisters are a trio of women who have been out on the road away from their Texas homes for almost 20 years now. And even though they're veterans now of the Americana scene, they still bring a youthful energy to their brand of progressive Western swing.
Every which way I look, I see your face before me. Every which way I talk, I always call your name. I'm walking down a one-way street, trying to forget. But after all these lonely years, I find I love you yet. Every which way I turn, it seems you're right beside me. Every which way I go, it seems you're going too. I hope someday you'll realize our love was meant to be. And every which way you love, I hope that love is me. For me, every which way I talk, always call your name. I walk down one street, try hard to forget, but after all these lonely years, I find I love you yet. Every which way I turn, it seems you're right beside me. Every which way I go, it seems you're going too. I hope someday you'll realize our love was meant to be. And every which way you love, I hope that love is me. Every which way you love, I hope that love is me.
3 hours. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
A cowboy's life is simply to rope and ride out west of the Great Divide, or so they say. What they didn't say, you drink belly wash every day until you're old and gray with lice-ridden men. So they tell me they wish that they could shoot a gun. So they tell me they could ride all day in the sun and have fun where old pain goes out to run. He'll leave. A cowboy's life is full of sorrow and strife. It's cut with a rusty knife, and there's just no end. It's 110, you're out of water again. Some buzzards are circling in, and your horse just died. So they tell me they wish that they could shoot a gun. So they tell me they could ride all day in the sun and have fun where old pain goes out to run.
do like that. Ameripolitan Western swing artist Big Cedar Fever featuring Georgia Parker. Here's a guy that was Merle Haggard's Honky Tonk Hero, Lefty Frizzell. Take it away, Lefty.
Let's make welcome Lefty Frizzell. Or another, I can tell by the way your eyes shine you're in love. So darling, please tell me who is the other, who changed your mind about the way you love. When I smelled the smoke, I thought it was a joke that you would play around, and now it's all over town that there's love in your heart for another, and more stars in your eyes than up above. So darling, please tell me who is the other, to change your mind about the way you love. When I smelled the smoke, I thought it was a joke that you would play it around, and now it's all over town that there's love in your heart for another, and more stars in your eyes than up above. So darling, please tell me who is the other, to change your mind about the way you love.
At the movie theaters around the country, there's a fellow that's going great guns in a show called The Nashville Rebel. Ladies and gentlemen, meet on our show, Mr. Waylon Jennings. Hey!
That's what you get for loving me. That's what you get for loving me. Everything we had is gone, if you can see. That's what you get for loving me. Don't you shed a tear for me. I ain't the love you thought I'd be. I've had a hunger just like what you get for loving me. That's what you get for loving me. Everything we had is gone, if you can see. That's what you get for loving me. Crying again. You should have known how things would end. But someday when your poor heart is on the mend, I might just pass this way again. That's what you get for loving me. That's what you get for loving me. Everything we had is gone, if you can see. That's what you get for loving me. That's what you get for loving me.
Just one more time, kiss me just once more, the way you did when you were mine. The longest walk I'll ever take will be across that floor. That's why I'm asking one last favor. favor, walk me to the door. I love another, won't you let me be? These are the words that you said to me. How can I go through life without you like it was before, when I can't even make it to the door? Walk me to the door and hold me close just one more time. Kiss me just once more the way you did when you were mine. The longest walk I'll ever take will be across that floor. That's why I'm asking one last favor, walk me to the door. I promise I won't try to make amends. I know I don't deserve you back again. My trembling lips are begging now, they never did before. Just one last favor, walk me to the door. Walk me to the door and hold me close just one more time. Kiss me just once more the way you did when you were mine. The longest walk I'll ever take will be across that floor. That's why I'm asking one last favor, walk me to the door.
Yeah, boy. The truly incredible Harold Lloyd Jenkins, better known around these parts as Conway Twitty, with a song that he wrote for Ray Price. You see, it's all connected here at Eclectic American Roots.
Hello, music lovers. It's time once again for one of our most popular shows on Eclectic American Roots, Honky Tonk Heroes. We present a wide variety of twanging musicians from as far away as England, as well as many homegrown artists, talking about their honky tonk hero and how their careers have been influenced by that artist. The main purpose here at Eclectic American Roots is to shine a light on musicians you may have never heard of and expose them to a wider audience as well. Now, England's music scene has a talented band that has been to the States several times, including playing Viva Las Vegas and, of course, stellar shows. They combine 30s and 40s cowboy music with jazz, also known as Western swing. A.J. Wade and Tennessee No. 9 have assembled this beautiful video to kick off our show today. They're getting down with Milton Brown.
Hi, I'm A.J. Wade, and I would like to introduce to you my honky tonk hero and the father of Western swing, Milton Brown. Now, the reason I'm so inspired by him is that he was such a versatile and innovative band leader and singer, who after leaving the Light Crust Doughboys in 1932, really set the template for Western swing by bringing the jazz to the Western string band sound, with hot twin fiddles, jazz piano, and the shockingly new sounds of the electric steel guitar, which, in the supremely talented hands of Bob Dunn, delivered probably some of the first such sounds onto record, with an outrageously distorted tone and far out bebop before there was bebop phrasing. Now, Milton Brown himself could and did sing just about everything, from straight up pop to sentimental ballads, from heartfelt blues to jazzy hipster jive, from cowboy songs to old country hoedowns, all to packed houses at the Crystal Springs Dance Pavilion, which is just outside of Fort Worth, Texas. And sadly, his name has become somewhat obscured over time, because tragically he died in a car accident in 1936. But in the short time the band were together, they did cut over 100 sides, and it's one of these tracks that got me into Western swing. It's called Right or Wrong, and I hope you enjoy our version.
Right or wrong, I'll keep on dreaming till I wake with the same old regret. All along, I thought I'd lose you. Still I'm praying that you be true. In your heart, please just remember, right or wrong, I'm still in love with you. Right or wrong, I'll keep on dreaming till I wake with the same old regret. All along, I thought I'd lose you. Still I'm praying that you be true. In your heart, please just remember, right or wrong, I'm still in love with you.
We know our next guest from the Sacktown Playboys and the Twilight Drifters, both from Sacramento. He has released a solo album you should check out, All Night Honky Tonk Man. It reached #1 on the alt country music charts. Please welcome Jeffrey Miller, whose contribution to our show today is the great Ray Price.
Hi, my name is Jeffrey Miller, and I'm here to talk about one of my favorite honky tonk heroes, Mr. Ray Price. What inspires me about Ray Price is his ability to tell the story of a song with just the feeling in his voice. The lyrics and the melody are really just the tip of the iceberg. The true meaning and the full story are conveyed through the emotion behind the vocal. To me, that's very inspiring, and that's just the genius of Ray Price's music. I love how you could be in a honky tonk and the jukebox is jumping and Ray Price comes on, and it's this emotional crooning, this almost operatic smoky voice steeped in reverb and steel guitar that you know is singing about something serious, and it just stops the room and makes you listen. To me, that's very powerful and very inspiring. Like this song here. You make my eyes run over all the time. You're happy when I'm out of my mind. You don't love me, but you won't let me be. you ever get tired of hurting me? You must think I look bad with a smile, for you haven't let me wear one in such a long, long while. Still I keep running back. How can this be? Don't you ever get tired of hurting me? And of course, we can all thank Ray Price for the Ray Price Shuffle, or the country swing. That's where you take a 2-beat song that's slow in tempo, and you add a swing rhythm and a swing bass line on it, and it sounds something like this. You get songs like, well, blue ain't the word for the way that I feel, and the storms brewing in this heart of mine. This ain't no crazy dream, I know that it's real. Here's someone else's love now, you're not mine. Crazy arms that reach to hold somebody new, for my yearning heart keeps saying you're not mine. My troubled mind knows soon to another you'll be wed, and that's why I'm lonesome all the time. You know, that's got a way of taking a sad song and making it seem happy, man. I love a fun, sad song. Well, thank you, Ray Price, for all you gave us. If you haven't heard about it, I'm Jeffrey Miller, and my debut album is called All Night Honky Tonk Man. Check it out. Bandcamp, Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, JeffreyMillerMusic.com. Thank you so much.
It's time to introduce our host today, rockabilly legend and roots music historian, Big Sandy.
Thank you, Mr. Burkhardt. And thank you, friends. Big Sandy here, ready to talk Honky Tonk Heroes, some of mine and maybe some of yours. I got a really great response to the women artists that we featured in Volume 2 of Honky Tonk Heroes, along with some very specific requests for more Connie Smith. Man, that's all right by me. So let's visit Connie right now in North Hollywood at a place you might recognize, at least from the exterior shots. Here she is, the pride of Elkhart, Indiana, Connie Smith.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great privilege to present America's #1 female country and western singer, the lovely and talented Miss Connie Smith.
A year ago today, I felt like dying, as unloved and unwanted as a heart could be. But time has a way of changing yesterday. Now the hurting's all over me. Well, the hurting's all over my body. It started in my heart, and it spread all over me.
part. Took the hurt out of my heart. Now the hurting's all over me. Now my arms ache to hold you like they used to do. And my eyes ache for the love light they no longer see. How I miss your caress, how my lips ache to be kissed. Yes, the hurting's all over me. Oh, well, the hurting's all over my body. It started in my heart and it spread all over me. Father Time did his part, took the hurt out of my heart. Now the hurting's all over me. Now the hurting's all over me.
I feel so blue, sometimes I wanna die. And so I've got a broken heart, so what? They say that time will heal all wounds in my Sandman. And I know that someday I'll forget and love again. But just between you and me, I've got my doubts about it. 'Cause just between you and me, you're too much to forget. So I've lost the only girl I ever loved. And so I've never felt so low, so what? I'll just tell myself each time I wanna cry that someday time will dry the teardrops from my eyes. But just between you and me, I'm not so sure about it. 'Cause just between you and me, you're too much to forget. You're too much to forget.
The truly fabulous, the birthday boy, Charlie Pride, who, sadly, we lost not too very long ago, but whose music will live on. Honky Tonk Hero to many. His hero, Hank Williams. There's a Little Bit of Hank in Me was the title of one of his albums. Speaking of albums,
25 country hits. All 25 by the original artists on one great 12-inch LP album. Hank Locklin, Webb Pierce, Win Stewart, Patsy Cline, Justin Tubb, Jimmy Dean, Johnny Bond, Jerry Wallace, George Jones, and more. You get Release Me, Hillbilly Heaven, and many, many, many more. 25 great artists, 25 original hits.
one of the really great artists to break into the country music scene in the early 70s was Mel Street, whose music was a throwback to an earlier honky-tonk sound. Here he is now performing his very first big hit single, Borrowed Angel, Mel Street.
Her fingers feel so gentle with her hand in mine. Her hair feels like silk on my arm. Her lips tell me so tenderly she's mine alone. Until we part tonight and she goes home. Borrowed angel belongs to someone else. I love my borrowed angel, I just can't help myself. That ring on her finger don't belong to me, but she loves me, and I know she'll save some borrowed time for me. I wish that I could have her more than just a night. We can't go on like this, it isn't right. But when that lonesome feeling comes knocking on my door, I'll call my borrowed angel to ease the pain once more. Borrowed angel belongs to someone else. I love my borrowed angel, I just can't help myself. That ring on her finger don't belong to me, but she loves me, and I know she'll save some borrowed time for me. But she loves me, and I know she'll save some borrowed time for me.
Born King Malachi Street, the fantastic Mel Street. In 1978, plagued by clinical depression and an ongoing battle with alcoholism, Mel took his own life. Very sad ending for a great artist. Mel's hero was George Jones. George sang at his funeral. Honky Tonk Heroes. I'll be back with a lot more, but first, here once again is Christopher Burkhardt.
The rockabilly and honky-tonk scene in Southern California lost a legend in 2021 when the great Ray Campi passed away. Here to bring his long career into focus is one of his fellow musicians, Rip Masters.
That must be my drummer. Yours can't play like that. That must be my girl. Yours can't play like that. She's my baby and she's so round and fine. Well, she's gone, gone, gone. Gone, gone, gone. She's gone, gone, gone. Gone, gone, gone. She's gone on down the line. Well, I'm going to a square dance, everybody jumping tonight.
Howdy, friends. I'd like to talk about my good buddy Ray Campi today, a real honky tonk hero. Now, Ray had a better knowledge of country music, especially from the 40s through the 50s, than anybody I've ever met. And how many people have you ever met that actually got Hank Williams' autograph in person? Ray loved the music, and when he started playing with his own band and really started to bring the rockabilly revival around, he started bringing really forgotten artists, some of whom had hit records, some of whom were very popular. He started bringing those artists back into the public eye. People like Johnny Horton, Jimmy Skinner, Whirly Fairburn, and many others. And in that pre-internet age, it's hard to remember, but you couldn't just dial up a name and find out what they did and see their songs. This stuff was really hidden and had been hidden from the public for many years. One of the great things that Ray did for me and we did together was to make a bunch of albums. In his later years, we did some tributes to some of those favorite artists. And one of them was Jimmy Skinner, who wrote a great song called How Low Can You Feel that Ray made very popular in England in the 80s. And also Jimmy Skinner wrote a couple of bluegrass standards and Doing My Time that was on the first Johnny Cash album. So Ray was really a pioneer, a forerunner. And when I met him, he and Ron Weiser and the gang at Rollin' Rock Records were trying to bring rockabilly and real American roots music back in a way that it hadn't been seen in probably over 20 years. And it's hard to think now, but Ray learned to stand-up bass actually because he couldn't find a bass player. They couldn't find anybody to play rock and roll bass. So when you see a band with a stand-up bass, just remember, it's not because of Bill Haley or Bill Black. Those guys were great, but they had given it up years ago. And Ray, in his 40s, learned to play the slapping bass and was so good at it. And now when you go and see bands playing stand-up bass, just think of Ray. He was the pioneer. Another album we did was this compilation of King Records, Country Stars. Ray grew up in Austin, Texas. His family moved there in the 40s during the war. And Ray lived downtown and actually got to see people like Gene Snowden playing in honky tonks around Austin in the late 40s and country swing bands like Jimmy Heap and the Melody Makers, and befriended them. And one of the things he loved was King Records. A King Federal label was a pioneer label out of Cincinnati that had many of the great country artists and also blues artists. And we did this album as a tribute and recorded many of Ray's favorite songs that were done by artists who were on that label at one time or another. So you have to think of Ray as a great artist, a great showman, because he brought this music to the public with tremendous energy and enthusiasm. You know, when you look at those early shows, I mean, we were playing at punk rock places like Mabuhay Gardens up in San Francisco and any venue we could find. And the audience had never seen anything like it. You know, there weren't rockabilly bands on every corner. There really weren't any. With the actual approach that Ray took. And he was able to popularize this music with his great skill and musicality, high energy bands, and his enthusiasm for the music, which he'd had since he was a kid. And the last thing I wanted to mention was he did an album. He did me the great honor of recording an album of all my compositions, he was a very generous man, and if he liked you, he helped you any way he could, which is a rare thing, I'm sorry to say, in the music business. But he believed in me, he believed in my writing, and right from when I wrote Rockabilly Man for him, which I think we're going to do a cut of.
1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'm a rockabilly man, and I'm proud to say I am the original rockin' big bass slapping man. I got a jumping, stomping band, gonna take all over this land, jumping to the rhythm of a rockabilly music tonight. I got a stylish set of duds I'm proud to wear. I got a greasy pompadour up in my hair, with a cowboy shirt by and a scarf around my neck, rocking to the rhythm of a rockabilly music tonight.
But when he started recording Rockabilly Man, and from then on, he always was interested in what I was writing, and then eventually his last rock and roll album was this album, Still Ripping It Up, which is all of my compositions. So I have to say he was a great influence, not only as a musician, but also as a friend and a very giving person and a buddy that I'll miss. He was somebody that if I'd say, hey Ray, let's go to Hollywood and see this new band, or let's go out to a junkyard and see a DeSoto, that parts car or something, no matter what it was, most of the time he was up for it. So Ray, we'll miss you. He was my Honky Tonk Hero.
Well, ever since you've been gone, I've been crying all night long. You not be there late, I know for somebody tore up over you, and I just can't find a way. Tore up over you, tore up, woo, tore up, right in two, tore up over you, tore up over you, and I just can't find a way. You didn't love me, but you told me so. It was you that wouldn't let go. It was you not be there late, and I know for somebody else. Tore up over you, and I just can't find a way. Tore up over you, tore up, woo, tore up, right in two, tore up over you, tore up over you, and I just can't find a nothing but you told me so. It was you that wouldn't let go. It was you not be that left. I know for somebody else. Tore up over you, and I just can't find a way. Tore up over you, tore up, woo, tore up, right in two, tore up over you, tore up over you, and I just can't find my way.
Let's head over to Honky Tonk headquarters and see what gems Big Sandy has for us. Hey, it's time to open up the dance floor. Somebody order him a tequila.
Thanks again, Mr. Burkhardt. And right now we're going to take a look at Linda Martell, a woman who has become a honky-tonk hero to a whole new audience of young artists thanks to recent features on NPR and in Rolling Stone magazine. Starting her career as an R&B artist in the early 60s, she eventually moved her way towards country music, becoming the first black female artist to perform on the Grand Ole Opry in 1970. Linda now recalls that while being well accepted by most of the country music community, there were many nights of having to endure racially charged language from the honky-tonk crowds. Linda has long since retired from the business, but has left us with a small but wonderful catalog of music that today serves as an inspiration for many. Linda Martell, today's unsung Honky Tonk Hero.
Living and working in the city, I thought I was a big girl. Oh, I felt so smart, and my own life I was through. So Miss Smarty found herself a city boy who one night said he loved her, and the next night it leaves her sitting with a bad case of the blues. Out to the country to see my mother. She said, what no good man has got my love and little child's heart so. I said, Mama, he tells me that he loves me, and then he's out with another. And it's got me right down to the last square on the checkerboard.
Dolly, how about a fine song?
I'd love to do one.
Blonde ain't nobody's fool.
Parton.
From the shadow by a mountain stream to a room in New Orleans, so far from my Blue Ridge mountain home. Oh, the men I meet, they warm and friendly, like the one in Old Virginia. No, they ain't real, like my Blue Ridge mountain boy. I was just a little past 18 when I came to New Orleans. Oh, I'd never been beyond my home state line. There was a boy who loved me dearly, but I broke his heart severely when I left my Blue Ridge mountain boy.
Thank you, Dolly.
Right there. A woman who I feel is one of the greatest artists of our lifetime, Dolly Parton. A true honky tonk hero, perhaps today more than ever. Friends, if you're enjoying today's presentation, please take a moment to visit our virtual tip jar at StellarJAX.com or Venmo at JAXhideaway. That's JAX with an X. And now, back to our man Christopher Burkhardt to explore the life and times of George Jones.
Hi, I'm George Jones. You know, if you like country music, we got it. Right here and right now.
It just don't get any better than this. That's about as good ever gets. If there's something better, it's something I miss. It just don't get any better than this.
George Jones's life story is a tale of rags to riches and back to rags again. For 50 years, Jones has reigned as the king of country. He was also the honky-tonk singer that many have dubbed the Frank Sinatra of country music. In fact, Sinatra actually called Jones the second best white singer in America. He was well known for his boozing,
You are drunk. I am not. Yes, you are. No, sir.
his fighting,
George. Hey, come on then, George.
his drugging,
Let him take me to jail. But you're not going to do that.
and especially his singing.
Well, I feel tears welling up, cold and deep inside like my heart from a big break. And the stab of loneliness, sharp painful, I may never shake. You might say that I was taking it hard, wrote me off with a call. Don't you wager that'll hide the sorrow, I may lay right down and bawl. Well, the race is on, here comes pride at the backstretch, heartaches are going to the inside. My tears are holding back, they're trying not to fall. My heart's out of the running, through look scratch for another seat. The race is on, looks like heartaches, and the winner loses on.
Most of Jones' career has been marked by hard living, hard loving, and hard luck. But he was a genius. Just listen to these perfect lyrics. An empty bottle, a broken heart, and you're still on my mind. I am sure many of you had a father who'd often come home drunk in the middle of the night and wake you up and demand that you sing for him. George Jones did. If he didn't perform, his daddy threatened to beat him. Now that is negative motivation, but it worked on George. By his early teens, Jones' father had him out singing on the streets of Beaumont for tips, followed by a job singing on a radio station at 16. Beginning to record in the mid-1950s, Jones loved the style of his hero, Hank Williams, and wanted to be a performer just like him.
It's a Hank Williams song, Cold, Cold Heart.
I tried
so hard, my dear, to show that you're my every dream. Yet you're afraid each thing I do is just some evil scheme. A memory from your lonesome past keeps us so far apart. Why can't I free your doubtful mind and melt your cold, cold heart?
But Jones' life, like his music, was shaped by turmoil and emotional strife, aggravated by a ferocious appetite for alcohol and cocaine, partly because he was often petrified to be in the limelight.
George, settle down. That's why George goes, it's like he's choking. But this is Possum. That's why they call him Possum right here.
Yeah.
As I turned loose of him, I said, George, you all right? And he goes, bam, and hits me right in the thing. And I said, somebody get something. I said, whatever he's doing is stronger than mine. And I'm running out of strength. And so, I mean, he was just still going, you know.
The more famous Jones became, the more intense his personal travails. As he said of himself, my life was a journey across a sea of whiskey and a mountain of coke in a vehicle of self-destruction. In 1955, the talented singer landed in the country top 10 with his song, Why, Baby, Why? And for the rest of his career, Jones was very rarely far from the top of the charts.
Lord, I can't help but love you till the day that I die. So tell me why, baby, why? Well, I got a crow I wanna pick with you, like last time when the feathers flew. You're running wild, kicking up your heels, leaving me home with a handful of bills. Lord, I can't live without you, and you know it's true. There ain't no living with it, so what'll I do? I'm going honky tonk and get as tight as I can. Then maybe that then you appreciate a good man.
In 1956, he earned a spot on the Louisiana Hayride, where he was co-billed with Elvis Presley. A fierce competitor, Jones would always try to outdo Elvis. Here's something you may not know. Jones recorded some rockabilly singles under the name Thumper Jones, which were totally unsuccessful, and he spent his life trying to hide them.
Yeah, rockin', rockin', rockin'. Yeah, baby, when I'm rockin', I wanna rock it with you. Yeah, all I need is a rockin' song to drive away my cares. And when I do my rockin', baby, I wanna get my share. Lord, I love rockin', 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 rockin'. Yeah, baby, when I'm rockin', I wanna rock it with you.
Jones was invited to join the Grand Ole Opry in 1956, and he cut his first full album in 1957. By the early 60s, with his songs about hardcore, honky-tonk heartbreak, Jones had established himself as one of country music's top singers. He continued to score chart success with songs such as Window Up Above and his trademark tune, She Thinks I Still Care. In 1969, Jones married fellow country star Tammy Wynette. That meant also joining Wynette's producer, Billy Sherrill, who added a certain countrypolitan polish to Jones's sound. George Jones had remade his image from a short-haired, crazy honky-tonker to a more relaxed, sensitive balladeer. By 1971, Jones and Wynette had become the biggest stars in country music, racking up top 10 hits as solo artists and selling out concerts across the country as a duo. In the mid-1970s, however, Jones was falling apart, both physically and emotionally, as years of drinking and drug abuse took their toll. He became unreliable and unpredictable, disappearing for days at a time and failing to show up for numerous concerts or recording sessions. After missing over 50 shows in just 1 year, he became known as No Show Jones, which he incorporated into his stage show many years later.
I'm in a Jones. They call him No-Show Jones. Seldom ever wrong. He's seldom ever wrong. Stage is singing my songs while we're about to run long. They call him No-Show Jones. They call him No-Show Jones.
You all know the infamous story of Jones driving the riding lawnmower to the liquor store because his wife hid his car keys. But for the possum, as he was called, drinking was taking a tremendous toll on his personal life and his health. His excessive cocaine use resulted in Jones dropping weight from 150 to just 105 pounds at one point. He was notorious for his drunken, intoxicated rampages, which involved both drugs and shotguns.
Well, in North Carolina, way back in the hills, lived my old pappy and he had him a still. He brewed white lightning till the sun went down. Fill him a jug and he passed it around. Mighty, mighty pleasing, pappy's going squeezing.
Despite these hard times, Jones continued to make interesting music. In '78, he recorded the popular duet Bartender's Blues with folk singer James Taylor.
I'm just a bartender, and I don't like my work, but I don't mind the money. Oh, no. I see lots of sad faces and lots of bad cases of folks with their backs to the wall. But I need 4 walls around me to hold my life, to keep me from going lost. I need a honky tonk angel to hold me tight, to help keep me from slipping away.
Thanks to Waylon Jennings helping him kick the habit, Jones returned to the top of the charts with 1980's huge hit, He Stopped Loving Her Today.
Oh, but I couldn't see no tears, all dressed up to go away. First time I'd seen him smile on me, he stopped loving her. They placed a wreath upon the door. Soon they'll carry him away. He stopped loving her today.
In 1982, Jones teamed up with country legend Merle Haggard for a taste of yesterday's wine. Merle had once said, his voice was like a Stradivarius violin, one of the greatest instruments ever made. Other successes from this period include the duet with Wynette called Two-Story House, and the #1 singles Still Doing Time and I Always Get Lucky with You.
I keep 2 strikes against me most all of the time. When it's down to just a phone call, I'm minus a dime. There's been good days, bad days, but when the day is through, hon, I've always been lucky with you. Yes, I've always been lucky with you.
Following a series of much publicized run-ins with the law and his arrest for drunk driving, Jones finally began to repent his self-destructive ways. He got sober, he remarried, and kept on touring.
These 100 proof memories are stronger than wine. It don't take but one taste to send you out of your mind. No, I don't want the whiskey, but I could sure use a ride. 'Cause with 100 proof memory, Lord, you don't think and drive.
Jones continued to have top 10 hits until 1987, when country radio became dominated by new artists. Ironically, the ones who were keeping him off the charts, Randy Travis, Keith Whitley, Dwight Yoakam, were all heavily influenced by George Jones himself. His last solo top 10 country hit would come in 1989 with I'm a One-Woman Man.
Goes like this. If you told me that you love me, I would feel so proud. If you let me hold you, honey, I would holler out loud. I'll never love another, even if I can. Love me, baby, I'm a one-woman man. Won't you let me, baby, just to kind of hang around? I'll always love you, honey, and I'll never let you down. I'll never love another, even if I can. Love me, baby, I'm a one-woman man. I climbed the highest mountain if it reached up to the sky. To prove that I love you, I would jump off and fly. I'd even swim the ocean from shore to shore. To prove that I love you a little bit more. Won't you let me, baby, kind of hang around? I'll always love you, honey, and I'll never let you down. I'll never love another, even if I can. Tell me, baby, I'm a one-woman man.
George Jones was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 1992. Then in 1999, Jones suffered a relapse that resulted in him getting into a serious car accident, drunk again. The possum got sober once more and continued to perform to support himself and his country music fans who never gave up on him. In 2012, Jones received one of the greatest honors of his career, a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award at 80 years of age, just 1 year before George Jones passed away in a Nashville hospital.
It's been a wonderful career, and what a thrill to be, remembered even this late, this age and time that I'm living in.
He always will be here. He'll always be a part of country music. Some of us will last for a while, but as long as there is a country music, you'll know who George Jones was.
We're going to miss you, Mr. Jones.
Hey everybody, don't wake him up. Big Sandy has been putting in a lot of real late hours assembling his awesome Honky Tonk Hero segments. Let's go see if he's awake.
Thanks once again, Mr. Christopher. Friends, here's a country music legend who should be no stranger to you, dear viewer, and perhaps a Honky Tonk Hero of yours as well. Let's take another trip to the Palomino to hear the golden voice of Marty Robbins.
One too many times you left me lonely,
forgive. You destroyed the world that I had built around you, and left me without a world in which to live. Would you take me back again if I had done these things to you? If I'd made you live through only half of what you put me through? If within your heart you knew I'd do the same things once again, tell me, darling, would you take me back again? Feelings never really mattered. It was always your way or no way at all. You never cared if all my dreams you shattered. Instead of helping me to stand, you let me fall. Take me back again if I had done these things to you. If I'd made you live through only half of what you put me through. If within your heart you knew I'd do the same things once again, tell me, darling, would you take me back again? Tell me, darling, would you take me back again? That's wonderful, my friend.
Stopped at a roadhouse in Texas, just a little old place called Hamburger Dan's. I heard that old jukebox start playing, song they call the truck driving man. Hey, everybody, pour me another cup of coffee, for it is the best in the land. Hey, Joe, I put...
Another honky tonk burned down, just a joint I used to hang around. I sang and played that old honky tonk sound, while only people poured their troubles down. A lot of memories came and went, a lot of younger days got spent. But when the folks stopped coming round, another honky tonk burned down. Well, I spent my youth cutting my first tooth in a honky tonk downtown. Traveled near and far, played every honky tonk bar for miles and miles and miles around. I was trying to learn, had time to burn, and the honky tonk music in my soul. Honky tonks are coming down, ain't too many left around, and it don't look like they're building anymore. Another honky tonk burned down, they're stomping out my old stomping ground. I sang and played that old honky tonk sound, while only people poured their troubles down. A lot of memories came and went, a lot of younger days got spent. But when the folks stopped coming round, another honky tonk burned down. Burn it down. It wasn't built too well, it had an old musty smell and a honky-tonk hardwood floor. Folks would come to drink and dance, get rowdy and romance. Tomorrow they'd be back to get some more. Whether just a country inn or a hotbed of sin, you could have knocked the whole place down with just a shove. Somebody finally did a match, now it's just a pile of trash, but it's where I heard the music that I love. Another honky-tonk burned down, a cardboard Carnegie Hall I hung around. I sang and played that old honky-tonk sound. While lonely people poured their troubles down, a lot of memories came and went. A lot of younger days got spent. But when the folks stopped coming around, another honky-tonk burned down. Burned down.
The remarkable Junior Brown, still out making the rounds, singing about another honky-tonk burned down. Okay, who's the greatest honky-tonk hero of them all? Hank Williams, I say. Now, let's take a look at a teenaged Hank Williams Jr. singing one of his daddy's biggest hits.
Hey, good looking. What's got cooking? How's about cooking something up with me? Hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe we could find us a brand new recipe? I got a hot rod Ford and a $2 bill. I know a spot right over the hill. There's soda pop and the dancing free. So if you want to have fun, come along with me. Say it. Hey, good looking, what you got cooking? How's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up? How's about cooking something up with me?
Late at night and walk the floor. I swear I hear your footsteps at my door. I stare into the night and call your name. Then silence drives me crazy once again. And crazy people cry when they get lonely. Crazy people cry when they get blue. Well, I know my friends all think that I've gone crazy. I'm crazy 'cause I'm crying over you. Time would help me to forget, but it hasn't 'cause your memory lingers yet. So if you ever find you need a friend, come on home and drive me crazy once again. 'Cause crazy people cry when they get lonely. Crazy people cry when they get blue. I know my friends all think that I've gone crazy. I'm crazy 'cause I'm crying over you.
Thank you. I do love me a good fast country shuffle. That's a fast one there. That was Brian Sklar, an important figure on the Canadian country music scene with a strong affinity for the Texas honky-tonk sound. He's been keeping that sound alive in Saskatchewan for many years now. You'll be seeing more of him in just a little bit when I come back, so don't go away as Honky Tonk Heroes continues.
Every year, Stellar Shows presents the touring band Reckless Kelly at Campus JAX, so we thought they might have a different take on their own Honky Tonk Heroes. Wait till you see what and who bandleader CODY BRAUN has put together at home in Austin.
Hey, thanks a lot, Christopher. Appreciate you having me on the Honky Tonk Heroes show today. And asking about Honky Tonk Heroes of mine. I've got a bunch of them. Grew up playing Western swing and honky tonk stuff with my dad and my brothers out in Idaho. And so he covered a lot of old stuff that we kind of grew up learning how to play. And then my brother Willie and I started Reckless Kelly and moved to Austin, Texas in '96 and got to hang out with the likes of Dale Watson and Chris Wall and Ray Benson and just a whole bunch of great honky tonkers down here in Austin. And over the years, got to know those guys pretty well and got to play a lot of shows together. Both Ray and the Sleep at the Wheel and Dale have been out and played our festival in Idaho. And so anyway, we've done a bunch of fun stuff over the years. And one of my favorites, the clip that I have, is from a fan that's probably, over 10 years old, probably more like closer to 15 years old. And it's a clip of us playing at our celebrity softball jam. We're all dressed up in baseball gear, so it looks a little weird, not very honky tonk, but we would do this celebrity softball game in Round Rock, Texas every year. We did it for 10 years to raise money for kids here in the local area. And Ray and Dale were kind enough to play it every year with us. And this particular year, we had our dad in town, so we did an old Ray Price song. And Ray Price is always a big hero of ours, too. So this is Muzzy BRAUN singing lead, and Ray Benson on guitar, Dale Watson playing guitar and singing, and then Reckless Kelly backing him up with some of our little brother's band as well, Mickey and the Motor Cars, and all kinds of yahoos. It was a great, fun event, and we miss it. But thanks again, Christopher, for having us on the show, or having me on the show, and we look forward to seeing you all down the road. Keep on honky tonkin'.
I never knew that I could hurt this way. Heartache number 2 was when you come back again. When you come back, but you never meant to stay. Heartaches by the numbers, troubles by the score. Every day you love me less, each day I love you more. I got heartaches by the numbers, a love that I can win. And the day that I stop counting, that's the day my world will end. Here's old Cody on the fiddle now.
Outlaw country is full of honky tonk heroes, and we have one of our own paying a little tribute to Waylon Jennings. Here is Sam Austin Morrow coming to you from Houston.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, y'all. Sam Morrow here. on a beautiful day in Houston, Texas. I'm excited to be a part of this. I ended up choosing Waylon Jennings, performance of Waymore's Blues that we did in Wichita, Kansas a few years back. And the reason I chose Waylon, he's sort of my favorite highwayman, my favorite outlaw. For many reasons. I relate to his writing a lot, and I like the way he wrote. I like that he, was able to just take songs from people like Billy Joe Shaver and make them a whole record and kind of do his own thing with them, even though I don't think Shaver ended up liking how it turned out so much. He was also, out of all the highwaymen and the outlaws, he kind of had the most groove and beat to me. His band did, and I relate to that a lot. At Waymore's Blues specifically, it's just sort of about nothing, I think, and I love that. It's just sort of a stream of consciousness writing, and I think people have tried to dissect what the song means, and more power to you. But I think there's a lot of beauty in that mystery, and that mystery of just Waymore's Blues, and I think he just sort of wrote it on a bender or something like that, or at least that's what I like to think. And don't try and change my mind either. So yeah, again, thanks Chris for having me, and I'm excited to watch this, excited to be a part of it. All right.
Yeah, I woke up this morning, it was drizzling rain. Around the curve, I caught a passenger train. Heard somebody yodel and I hope I'm home. Jimmy is dead, it's been a long time gone, been a long time. Yeah, been a long time.
A little Waylon Jennings for y'all.
I think we all agree on one thing. Our favorite part of the Eclectic American Roots series are Big Sandy's vintage videos from his vaults. I wonder what he and his international staff have compiled for us next.
Thank you once again, Mr. Burkhardt. And now, for my fourth and final round of videos, we're going to take a big look at Houston's very own Johnny Bush, the country Caruso. And though we lost Johnny in 2020, the Texas honky-tonk tradition that he helped pioneer will live on, without a doubt. Here he is, the great Johnny Bush.
There ain't no chance strong enough to hold me. There ain't no breeze big enough to slow me. You never have seen a river that's too wide. There ain't no jail tight enough to lock me. There ain't no man big enough to stop me. I'll be there if you ever want me by your side. Oh, love me if you're ever gonna love me. I never have seen a road too rough to ride. There ain't no jail tight enough to lock me. There ain't no man big enough to stop me. I'll be there if you ever want me by your side. Huh. There ain't no ropes tight enough to bind me. Look for me, honey, and you find me any old time you're ready with your charm. 'Cause I'll be there ready and waiting. There won't be any hesitating. I'll be there if you ever want me by your side. Oh, love me if you're ever gonna love me. I never have seen a road too rough to ride. Hey, I'll be there ready and waiting. There won't be any hesitating. I'll be there if you ever want me by your side. I'll be there if you ever want me by your side. There stands the glass that will ease all my pain, that will settle my brain. It's my first one today. There stands the glass that will hide all my tears, that will drown all my fears. Brother, I'm on my way. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder if you are alright. And I wonder if you think of me in my misery. There stands the glass, fill it up to the brim, till my troubles grow dim. It's my first one today. I wonder where you are tonight. I wonder if you are alright. And I wonder if you think of me in my misery. There stands the glass, fill it up to the brim, till my troubles go dim. It's my first one today. Oh, there'll always be honky tonks in Texas, faded love, twin fiddles, and a crowded hardwood floor. Yes, there'll always be honky tonks in Texas, home away from home for lonesome cowboys and ladies who don't like to be alone.
Happiness may come and go like the sunshine and snow, and now and then a friend is hard to find. But the love you said would stay will sometimes slip away and leave you with no comfort for your mind.
But there'll always be honky tonks in Texas, faded love, twin fiddles, and a crowded hardwood floor. Yes, there'll always be honky tonks in Texas, home away from home for lonesome cowboys and ladies who don't like to be alone. With my suitcase in my hand, I've traveled across this land. These old boots have walked the streets of many towns. But no matter where I roam, Texas is my home, and that's the place I'll always be around. And there'll always be honky tonks in Texas, faded love, twin fiddles, and a crowded hardwood floor. Yes, there'll always be honky tonks in Texas, home away from home for lonesome cowboys, ladies who don't like to be alone. Home away from home for lonesome cowboys, and ladies who don't like to be alone.
The man. What a voice. Johnny Bush. In that clip, with yet another Honky Tonk hero, Daryl McCall. There's still more to come on the show, friends, but that's it for me. I'm going to kick off my boots, go kick back on the couch, and watch the show to the beautiful land. I'll see you soon. Until next time, y'all take care. But first, this.
Now, to round out our Honky Tonk Hero show today, we have the award-winning singer-songwriter Alice Wallace. Alice lives in Nashville now and has always been our very favorite yodeler. Yes, I said yodeler. Wait, don't touch that dial. She yodels in a way that makes you want to ride the range with Patsy Montana. She yodels like she was born that way, and she yodels with her own honky-tonk band. It's the great Alice Wallace, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Alice Wallace here. Thanks to Christopher Burkhardt and the Eclectic American Roots series for inviting me out to talk about one of my Honky Tonk heroes. I've got a few, but I do think top of the list would have to be Miss Patsy Montana. Born Ruby Blevins, but known as Patsy Montana to all of us country music fans. And she was one of the pioneers of women in country music back in the 30s. A fantastic singer and songwriter and actress and yodeler. And that's really why I came to know her so well as a fellow yodeler. And not only that, but in 1935, she had the first million-selling single as a woman in country music. And it was her signature song, I Want to Be a Cowboy Sweetheart, which has since been recorded by many people, Susie Boggess, Leanne Rimes, and myself. I put it on my album Memories, Music, and Pride back in 2015. and it's one of my favorite songs to sing. And so I think we've got a video queued up of me performing it with my band, and yeah, definitely have to give a lot of credit to Miss Patsy Montana for influencing my music. 1, 2, 3.
That's our show. Hope you enjoyed watching us as much as we enjoyed you watching. Please take a moment and drop a few quarters into our virtual jukebox at StellarJAX.com. On Venmo, it's JAXhideaway. You can subscribe to all our Eclectic American Roots Sunday matinees on YouTube at our StellarJAX channel. It's got dozens of entertaining root shows like this one, so go ahead and binge. Okay, see you on the Honky Tonk hardwood floor someday. So we have a great show coming up next. Don't go away out there in the internet. We have Albert Lee himself on stage at 2 o'clock Pacific Standard Time with an awesome opener named the Farmers Band out of San Diego. So they'll be kicking it off at 2, and please stay tuned to this channel, and you'll be seeing us live on YouTube and on Facebook. Thank you.